Hey, what's up, everyone? Friday, Monday, Wednesday, week 37, program design review. This is 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 4 times around the room. Whenever we do 4 times, it allows you to do more unilateral work so that you can get 2 sets to each side. We always like to put in a suggested warm-up so that you're not just doing breakdown warm-ups all the time. And just as a reminder, what's in the yellow highlights is giving you a purpose at each station. What is red is usually something fun that you could do to introduce the exercise. The green indicates where you might want to start. The orange indicates maybe there's a different exercise you may want to do at that station, just something to consider. Sometimes it's based on space, equipment limitations, or maybe just that the majority of your members, this exercise may not be appropriate for. So just going down from the top here, suggesting an energy lineup. My phone going a little crazy. I don't know if you can hear all that beeping, but somebody really wants to talk to me right now. But yeah, so energy lineup, and then exercise 1, the dumbbell stability ball, iso hold single arm chest press. Okay. So in red is why. Why would we hold one dumbbell up over top of us while pressing the other? And the answer is that there is more core activation on the opposite side of your body as you do that. You know, your core has to stabilize, just kind of like a great foundation for a tall building. So spotting at the forearms, that's your purpose as a coach, is to not only explain the why, but come around and challenge the weight and make sure that they have a weight that in 30 seconds, it's a low repetition number. And so it is a good strength set for hypertrophy, but it's not a great strength set if they don't have a challenging weight. All right, so don't let them just go through the motions. If they ain't shaking, they ain't training. All right, battle rope, side to side squat with drum roll. So you're stepping side to side, you're getting that drum roll. As a coach, you can give a little target for how high they get the ropes. You can challenge your pace. As you intro the exercise, Robot Rock on the Fun Coaching song list has a good drum roll start. So you can play that as your co-coach demos that. You as a coach, doing it by yourself is kind of hard to play. So you want to work with your co-coach on that one because you'll have both hands on the ropes. Kettlebell, iso hold with the alternating row. So iso hold today, iso sexy tomorrow. This is good for the sexy back right there. Oh my God, Becky, look at her back. All right. So what's going to happen is you got the one kettlebell held up tightly while you row the other. And what that does is it really helps you to stay in that constant state of contraction, which is really good. Too often when people row, they're not getting that full range of motion, getting that full retraction. So you already have the retraction established by keeping one up top there. So coach the form, coach that good squeeze, use the power of touch, the hand on the back, making sure you feel that good squeeze at the shoulder blade, very important. And then, of course, coaching that good spine alignment, the chest is up, you're making sure you don't have rounded backs. That's your purpose at that station. The Bosu ball, side to side leg lift. All right, so you're sitting on the Bosu, you're leaning back. In fact, I would say as a coach, you help them lean back, because if they're sitting up, then it's not their abs that's holding them up, it's their ass instead of their abs, right? So you want to be abs, ABS, right? So they're leaning back, the core is engaged, and then you could even set a dumbbell out in front for how they lift their legs side to side going over top of the dumbbell. That way they have a little something, a goal, something to get over. Just like you gave them a goal at the ropes, you're now giving them a goal over here on the Bosu. People with LBP, lower back pain, it's not recommended that they have both feet off the ground at the same time. So there was a great demonstration in the video that Jeremy put out about doing one leg at a time. Again, this is the extra to just kind of go over how you have a purpose at each station and breaking down the workout. We should always watch those videos. There's a lot of great information in there. And then we go back to the TRX rear foot elevated split squat. So if they're using the TRX, help them with the balance. It was a cute little video. Jeremy and Samir. Jeremy was holding Samir's hands in this video, making sure that he had good balance. And you would have to do that too. That's why this station is highlighted green. So it's highlighted both orange and green. I had to use a green highlight where it's normally a yellow box because I wanted you to know, one, you could consider just having them put their foot on the wall. That's also rear foot elevated, and it's easier to get in and out, right? Because we sometimes have slower members, and by the time they get their foot into the fandle, the TRX handle, which when you put your feet in it becomes a handle. Well, by the time they get their foot in there, they've already lost a lot of their set. So you could just choose to have them put their foot on the wall and go with that. And so up to you. You decide what you're going to do there. Maybe even for some, they should just really be doing a split squat. It depends on the members you're teaching, especially the older groups. They could just focus on that split squat. All right. And then as you get into your second circuit, we got our dumbbell stability ball bicep curl to the overhead press. So challenge the weight. Again, this is 30 seconds. So a good repetition is usually about 3 seconds long. When you divide 30 by 3, it's a 10 rep set, 8 to 12. That's strength training. Make sure that it looks like strength training, right? Make sure that they have a challenging weight. And as pointed out in the video, if it's not an overhead press, if that's not appropriate for the client that's doing it, then they can just focus on the bicep curling. What I would suggest, here's a little twist, here's a little tweak, is let's say that we have somebody that, maybe they're a little imbalanced. They can press a lot more with their shoulders and they can curl with their arms, or they can curl a lot more with their arms and they can press with their shoulders for whatever reason, for whatever they have going on. Well, you may want to encourage them to do one with one weight the first time through and another with another weight the next time through, so they can get a good challenge on both ends. So if there's not, for whatever reason, an equal distribution, the same weight that challenges them, then you may want to consider splitting that weight, splitting that exercise up. All right, the battle rope clap waves. All right, so I would intro that with that hand clap song. I can make your hands clap, right? And that also grabs the attention of your room, right? If you got the chatty Cathys in the room, quite often when we're trying to introduce an exercise, we can say, hey, everybody give me 2 claps, boom, boom, and all of a sudden everybody's paying attention. Well, this will definitely draw their attention over to this station because you have the song to go along with it. And then after that, just challenging the pace. Chest is up, knees are bent, and they're going as fast as they can. Do this hand clap rope exercise. Kettlebell, single arm, single leg deadlift. So you're going to coach the hips, square hips, right? Don't let that hip rotate out just because you're doing the single leg deadlift. And also be coaching that good spine alignment, making sure that they're not rounding their back. A lot of good tips in the video already, so I won't repeat them here. And then we got our Bosu ball lunge series highlighted in green. So you're forward lunging, side lunging, reverse lunging to one side, then switching sides and doing the same thing. It's like a kind of like around the clock type of pattern, right? You're 12 o'clock and 3 and 6 and 9, and you're just doing all this lunge series. So what do you challenge there? Of course, you're challenging the balance because you're standing on top of a Bosu doing it. But if they have good balance, you're challenging that range of motion. Okay, so make sure that you're getting them through that full range of motion. And then the TRX side plank. I was a little iffy on this one. At first, I was even going to highlight it orange because I was like, do I have a lot of people that will put their top foot into a side plank and do that as it would be done in a level 3? But the videos that Jeremy put out are so great to show level 1, 2, and 3. It made me convinced that it's appropriate for my entire room because level 1, they have their knee on the ground and their top foot is in that fandle, in that TRX handle. And what that does, having your top foot, we always want to know the why as coaches and even coach the why, is that as we add that element of instability, right? If that top foot was just on the floor and let's say a split, as it often is in a plank, right? You split your feet and then you have a very stable base to plank from. And so within that stability, of course, there's some intensity on your obliques, but instability increases intensity. So when I add my top foot into a device that in itself is unstable, it's swinging like a pendulum, and I have to steady it. And on top of steadying it, I'm also getting that work because my hip is off the ground. Again, instability increases intensity. So I think that for many in our SARE location, it will be enough to just have their knee on the ground and their top foot in this. But then they could progress it to where they are not even using their knee on the ground. And then the third level is where you bring that bottom foot to the top foot, right? We have some that can do that in here. Maybe it's like 10% of the population. We have some that won't even go down the ground and we're just going to have them lean on the wall, right? And that's fine too. And then of course, hey, get your rock group together, get the inflatables together because Thunderstruck this week, if you make it fun, they'll have a good time, right? It's really how much you embrace it, how much you bring the fun. Do you turn your lights down? Do you turn your other lights on? You break out inflatable instruments. What do you do? I mean, it's a great group karaoke song. Everybody knows the words. Make it fun. Go all in, and they'll have fun with you. And that is the Friday, Monday, Wednesday. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 4 times around. Have a great week.